everyone, welcome back to TIS Hitters. It's Monday morning. Kurt Conley here from Cryptofy with Mr. Nissen. How are you today, Rev?
Yeah, doing all right. Having a bit of fun. And yourself?
Yeah, weekend is over. Feeling good. Back in the office for Monday morning. Having a scroll through TIS. There's a lot of interesting things pinging off. So let's have a bit of a chat and see what we're diving into today.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet as.
So as always, first disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. Cryptofy is our platform, our company, our business, but we are here to help everyone understand what's going on in the cryptocurrency market, but this is not financial advice. Please read the disclaimer. If you're sub to TIS, you guys know the rules. Let's just jump straight into the current TIS hits we're looking at today. So here is a couple that we were talking about last week. These are the weekly hits from Series 7. So we've got T-Fuel, Theta, and IOTA. Haven't really done too much at the moment. Entry for T-Fuel, 53 sats, currently sitting at 54 sats. Theta is a 1.5% move there. IOTA's probably had the biggest move, which is 4%. I said that I'm not really interested in looking at IOTA, but it has had the biggest move. Ironic, the one that I don't want to look at, right?
Yeah. Always the way.
It's like, it's always trolling me, right? So yeah, we'll monitor these for another day or two and see how they go. But it seems like there's a little bit of action happening on these particular ones. They were the TIS hits for Series 7. Nothing out of this world, no major runs or anything like that. But yeah, just the recap on Series 7. Today for TIS hits for Episode 8, we have two tokens that we're currently looking at. The first one is YFII. So that's YFI with two I's, not one. The CMC ranking on that is 129. Current USD price as shooting this video is $1,740 sitting at about that 10-11 million sat range. 24-hour trading volume is 385 Bitcoin. The interesting thing about this one is it's had 9 buy notifications in the last month. So TIS has pinged this one consistently for the last month, which we have had a few of these. We have talked about these in the last couple of series. We've had a few 10s, a few 9s, a 14, and these are the ones that we tend to watch a little bit more when we get that higher frequency number of pings. So Rev, we're giving this one a 9 out of 10. Let's go have a quick look at the chart.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go through it. But it's actually really, really cool with what's happening here on YFII. From what we're seeing on the actual charts, it looks pretty decent. So let's bring up the chart really quickly, and it's a 9 out of 10, right? We need something when we get a 9 out of 10 or like a 9 or 8 or 9 or a 10 out of 10. We need something, Kurt. We need to do something. Yeah. What do you reckon we should do? Do you have any suggestions?
I think we buy some here.
We just do a Borat. Very nice. I like. A Borat would be like.
You got it in, Rev. You got it.
Yes. Let's check it out. So on the hourly, it's looking pretty good. It's forming sort of a bit of sideways action, but it's not going back down to that bottom where it had there, and that was at like 6 million sats. Which, if we look back on TIS, I believe there was a buy in that range or 7 million sat range as well. So this isn't the first one that TIS has given us on YFII. So we're looking really good on 4 hourly, really, really good, above those EMAs and just traveling along. Look for a breakout out of the bodies and then just a confirmation if we close above. And then if we push out of the wicks, then we're laughing. So we could potentially be running, and then the resistance will be between this here at 0.22 of a BTC and 0.27, 0.28 of a BTC. That's where we're going to have resistance in this topper here and in these bottoms here, because they become resistance as well now, and we need to push through them. So definitely looks like a push is coming unless Bitcoin comes and ruins the day. So as always, just be wary of that. Now another thing on a daily as well, you can see the MACD is traveling really, really nice. It's above. But the important thing is that zero line on the MACD, and it's very, very close to it. So just keep an eye on that. If we do go above that, it's the first time the EMAs have actually been, the MACD has actually been able to form on a daily to be able to cross that zero line and become in a bullish position. So we could potentially be pushing for that. So this may be, a nice trade from our understanding, and that's why we've given it a 9 out of 10. So that's pretty much all we can see on YFI. There's not much, obviously, historical data that we can really work with. But yeah, that's everything that we got on that.
Okay, so the next one that we're looking at is TRB. I do know that a few people in the community had talked about TRB in the past, and I think that was before it became listed on Binance. I think traditionally it was on I think it was IDEX or something like that. It was trading on. Um, yeah, but there was a few people talking about this, going back a few months. So TIS has pinged it, currently ranking 160 on CMC, USD price $26, 160,000 sats, trading volumes 209 BTC over the last 24 hours. It's only had one buy notification, but the chart doesn't look too bad. It looks all right.
No,
So we give this a buy rating 7 out of 10. And from memory, there's real low supply on TRB. I haven't jumped back on TRB. I'm just going to pull something up here quickly. But Rev, if you want to pull a chart up,
yeah, definitely, I can bring it up. TRB is a funny one from our TIS perspective. Before we even bring the chart up, actually, I'll bring up the supply.
TIS has a really good track record with TRB from memory, Rev. Like
Yeah,
it buys and it gets the sells and it catches it really good.
yeah,
We should actually look at this as a potential altcoin bot.
yeah, for sure, 100%. So there's 1.6 million tokens in supply, which isn't really much. And if we look before we go to the charts, if you look at TRB, I've got it loaded here. You can see we've searched it, and what you can see here, if I scroll down, we'll just work it from here. There's a buy at 366,000. There's a sell at 370. Not much really difference. There's a buy at 280. That's a pretty good sell to buy. And then another buy to average in. So what are we looking at? 280. Let's say we'll call it 280, and then a sell at 254, minor loss, and then a buy at 200 again, 200,000 sats. A sell at 216. A buy at 188. Another buy and another buy. Another buy again at 155 to try and dollar cost average in, and then sell at almost 200,000. So even from the first one, it's still on top. Another sell at 202, another sell at 183, another sell at 200, and a buy at 18.6, 186, a sell at 202, a buy at 13.25. 15.57 a sell, and now at 14.55 buy, which right now it's actually above. So if we go and have a look, it's back again on top. So TIS has a really clean track record with TRB, and yeah, this could potentially, just as you mentioned, we could be looking at turning TIS into a bot just for stuff like this, because we want to see what their track record is. If you can hit 7, 8 out of 10 trades on something, you're doing good. If you can hit 6 out of them, you're doing really good. But if you can get 8, 9, 10 out of it, you're laughing. So that's what it's all about. It's all about accumulation and repetition of trying to get high probability. And TIS has proven itself here. So on the hourly here, you can see, once again, just like YFII, kind of traveling in that range there because Bitcoin is chilled out and is trying to push out. If we go to the 4 hourly, not sure if there was something on the 4 hourly that I can see. Very similar once again. It's on top of those EMAs as well. Very similar pattern. The MAs there, the moving averages. Oh, I went to the monthly, my bad. Go to the daily here. And we can see the daily, it just like YFII, it tried to push. This is where YFII is. So it could potentially be a bad trade for YFII, but it's different market sentiment, different market conditions, different day. Bitcoin isn't trying to push right now, right? We don't know that it's trying to push or anything like that. It looks like it's just chilling out at the moment. So if it does, it could potentially push out for YFII and not have this MACD coming down, because there's a very similar pattern happening. But you can see this is starting to push and continue this trend here. And then if it hits the zero line, we're good to go. And it's rocket fuel from there. Like 220, 230,000. And then the top one is these bottom tweezers on the body at 300. So we're talking 230,000 to 300,000 being the sort of ranges that you're going to have issues for. So you're going to look for a breakout here and a potential top out here. If it keeps on going, that's insane. So that's pretty much it on TRB. But yeah, I think we've rated it 7 out of 10, but I think it deserves a very nice I like as well from Blue out there, either at an 8 out of 10 or so. So yeah, I do like it. I do really like it. So these two, that's pretty much all we had on TIS Hits this week, I believe.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
But we got a couple of minutes here, Rev. So there was the TIS hits for the long-term trades, right? And this usually indicates that we've got a bit of movement with what's going on. and especially in the altcoin market. Obviously, Bitcoin's doing its thing at the moment. All eyes are on Bitcoin, but something does seem to be simmering with the alts and potential lead up into an alt rally, an alt season, or whatever you want to call it. So,
Yeah.
It's been talked about. We talked a little bit about it on the last video, but when TIS starts doing a lot of these long-term trade, medium-term trade pings, and like it's not just hitting like 5, we're hitting like 30, 35. There's a lot of trades coming through. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that and sort of like,
Yeah, for sure.
what like leading into?
Yeah, let me just finish off on TRB actually. Just looking at this data on CryptoStat, and this is why CryptoStat is so crucial. And we'll jump on to what you were just mentioning then with TIS and what we saw. But you can see here the buys change in the last 24 hours, 35.6%. And you can see it's increased in the last 12 hours. And in 4 hours from there, we've had a big increase again. And the hour we haven't really had, because it's such a short time frame, we can't capture so much buyers, right? But that's still pretty, and there it is, it just changed, 54%. So it's traveling, it just literally clicked over, and it's traveling on even the 60-minute is higher than all of them now, because the data's updated. And it's just insane. And the volume change here, 311%. Really, really good data, guys. It looks really good from our perspective, and I hope we're good on that. I'm just looking at YFI as well. You can see the volumes change there, and the bias percentage hasn't really moved all that much in the last 24 hours, but the price has moved as well. So yeah, going back onto the long-term trade stuff. So if we go to long-term trade here, we had a lot of long-term trades. You can see it all there. If you're a TIS subscriber, if you don't know how to subscribe to TIS for the new people, just go to cryptostat.org. Go to our YouTube, actually. We've even dropped posts on how to do it, and you can check it out. But there is a lot of long-term trades here on alts versus BTC. And that is very interesting. And I'll be quite honest, Kurt. I know I look at the data from TIS a lot more than you do yourself, and I've been looking at it for a lot of a longer period, just because you haven't had the access to it, or haven't had you're like, guys, I get it, but I don't want to look at it. So we've been analyzing it. Yeah, and I'd like to analyze numbers. I love numbers, I really do. And looking back through TIS's history since we've had it up, even in like 2017 sort of times.
I was just about to say.
I haven't really seen, for a long time anyway, this many TIS hits on a long-term trade, and they're all bullish.
Yeah, the short ones we always see, right? The frequencies like that, but to come in and see like 30, 40 on the long like this and the medium terms is unusual. And for people that have been subscribed to this would notice this as well. Like they know that a lot of the long-term trades, usually like 1 or 2, very sporadic. But for something like this is a really, really good indicator. And we hope that this really sheds some light on some people to be able to like keep up to date with watching TIS and keeping on their finger on the pulse with watching the channels, because these sorts of things here are big indicators to us.
Definitely. And you can see here, the last time it had 3 bullish and 1 bearish. Then the time before that, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so. And then maybe another, probably about 12 there. But this time we have like 30, 25, 30 of them, which is a lot. Now, another thing that I do want to check before we finish this video, I know we've gone a bit over time, or almost over time, but just to finish it off on this, the Binance MACD scanner, I really want to look at this, because when we started utilizing the Binance MACD scanner through CryptoStat, we had 2 tokens at 99% or over 90%. And then we built that up. I think it was at almost 50 or 60 of them that hit 90%. And we can see that's pulled back now. So what we're seeing now, the other data was only 2, and now there's 3. DNT, because it's had a really great week. And that was up there. The Binance MACD scanner here through CryptoStat was telling us DNT was a good trade before it was even a good trade. Right? And we saw where DNT went. I mean, let's bring up the chart. Let's have a look at the daily for a second.
200%.
Look at that. From 60, more than 260 to 500 sats plus. So that almost did, what's that? An 8x, 8.5 or so.
Yeah.
And CryptoStat Binance MACD scanner was giving us that signal, telling us, yes, DNT looks like a good trade before it was even a good trade. And then TIS hit it at like 65 sats, and we have, rocket fuel. We call it rocket fuel because it is. And that's the beauty. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, you know. So just wanted to really emphasize on that, and that's something I'll be keeping an eye on. If you have CryptoStat and you utilize CryptoStat, keep your eye on the Binance MACD scanner and just keep track of how many things are in that range at that time, because it's crucial. I think this week, if we go through this week now, I know we were talking about a month last time, I think it was, but if we go through this week and we come out on the other end of the next week and alts are still looking good and Bitcoin's just chilling, I think we're good to go for a little alt run here. Just a small one, may last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but it's good to just stack some sats before Bitcoin does what we believe it's going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is episode 8 of Tier Sitters. Thanks for joining us today. Always remember to like and subscribe to our channel, and we will be continuing to put this stuff out. We'll see you guys Friday.
For sure. Cheers, guys. Take care, Kurt. I'll chat to you soon.